So I have a sneaking suspicion, Jimmy, that this country is on its way to becoming a dictatorship. I think we have seen things slowly, that there is a conspiracy, I know you like the conspiracies, that slowly this thing's happening. It's not really a conspiracy of people as much as just we're slowly all accepting things. So for example, like we've talked about a lot, like the war that's now in Syria, the Congress didn't have to vote on the war. The executive actions. I know you're down with the executive actions on immigration, but something that's giving more power to the presidency. The CIA doing torture when Congress, like to me, I'm starting to see something where our whole system is just broken and just a few people are now in power in a way that it was never supposed to be.
Well, there's no watchdog anymore, Dave. You know, I rail about this all the time. It used to be we had a watchdog in America, and that was called the news journalists, right? Well, the criminals got smart and they bought the news journalists, right? So now we have a guy like Brian Williams trying to give us the straight dope about a war when he's working for a defense contractor all through the Iraq war, right? So when you want to go get your anti-war message, and you're getting it from a fucking defense contractor, right? So that's the problem. I mean, that's the real breakdown in society right now. Is that the watchdog used to be, you know, when you saw 60 Minutes coming, you got afraid. Now you see 60 Minutes coming, and you're like, oh, that's the guy from the corporation.
So in a weird way, we actually can't blame the president for not trying to get war authorization.
They've always,
because this is
that's what they do.
Yeah, this is what they're supposed to do. And if there's no media to call them out on the bullshit, then of course that's just what they're going to do.
Right. There's no check anymore on power. That's the problem. There's no check on power. On you know, think about this, right? When the economic collapse happened, we fired teachers immediately. Isn't that what Pol Pot did? Didn't he start shooting people who had glasses? That's what they did. They want to get rid of the intellectuals, right? They want obedient workers, right? Just exactly what George Carlin said. Right. They want obedient workers, and that's what we're getting.
So do we need a media then that is totally separate? We need a new media, which I think we're starting to have with some of the online stuff, right? But
they're getting rid of that.
So net neutrality, like so what are people supposed to do, really?
Revolt. Violent revolt.
You want violent revolt.
That's the only, you know, I say I have
comment
joking,
section.
But that's really this is what leads to this, right? So they've wrecked the economy for regular people. Half of all wage earners in America make less than $30,000. You know, it's now prohibitive to go to, you know, my wife teaches high school English literature, and she tells her high school class that, you know, when she was a kid, college was free in California, and they don't believe her.
I'm not even sure I believe you. Is that even true?
Yes.
Is that really true?
Yes, college was free in California, and the guy who started charging it was Ronald Reagan. And they said, why would you want to make people pay to go to school and get educated? It's good for our country.
Isn't that?
And he said, why should I subsidize people who are going to vote against me?
Right. So, okay, so then.
So educated people are against me. Let's get rid of education.
Right. So then the key to the whole thing, the further you just keep taking the layers off, is education, right? Because we really need some smart people to actually go into the media to police this.
Well,
then
we have smart people. We just don't give them, you know, it's how they're using their smarts, you know. They don't have the courage to fight against the machine.
Yeah. But do you think we also, to me, it's like, part of this is like, Obama came in as such a cool president. The cool guy that he played basketball and he smoked weed and all this stuff, that everyone wanted to be friends with him.
Yeah.
And that sort of was the danger. Like, to me, it's like at this point, the next president, we need some like cold-hearted bastard who the media hates, because then the media will want to keep him into account.
Maybe like somebody like Dick Cheney. Remember how they kept him in check?
I said cold-hearted, not heartless.
Oh boy, wow, you're right. So, yeah. He's literally didn't have a heart for a while.
literally, he didn't have a heart. So anyway, it's a multi-layered thing, right? We can't place all the blame on the politicians who are just stealing the stuff that we're allowing them to steal. We can't place all the blame on the media because they just want.
No, I would say it another way. You can totally blame the politicians. You can totally blame the media. So I wouldn't say you can't. I would say blame the shit out of them. And what we really need to do is go to wolf-pack.com and get money out of politics, and we can return our democracy back to the people.
Does this guy know how to plug for an employer or what? I'll tell you. What do you think about this? Let us know in the comments down below.